Check 1, 2.
Chickadee check. Hey, Jesse, how you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to see you back in your ghostly form. I hope that didn't mean that you went short against Bitcoin as it pumped this week because you might have gotten liquidated.
No, I would if I get liquidated it's because I go too long, never too short. Very optimistic. But yeah, the market's been pretty wild, huh? Been going
Yeah,
good.
bull market might be starting. I don't know. I never know.
I know. Well, I saw some stat like after every US election every 4 years since Bitcoin's been around, it tends to do well following the clarity of, I guess, whatever the political clarity ends up being, then the market can market. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think there may be some other reasons that we will see some excitement in the market, and that's just that we are on the cusp of a very, very special week for all things Aavegotchi. And I just think this might be the biggest week we've ever had in terms of something shipping. And no future, I know you know exactly what is right around the corner.
Yeah, big things happening tomorrow. We have the mainnet launch of Geist. So exciting.
Yep, that's it. We've got a blockchain launching called Geist, and this is a layer 3 gaming chain, and it is being launched by the Aavegotchi, well, let's just say the Aavegotchi ecosystem. The DAO and Pixelcraft together launching a dedicated gaming chain with a twist. It's for members only. So if you want to be a member of this chain and you want to be able to have access to all the benefits and airdrops and different activities that happen on Geist, you have to be a member. This is pretty unique among blockchains. I think it's the only one. It's the first and only members blockchain. So it's almost like an exclusive nightclub in that sense, except everything is settling on chain, EVM compatible. And when it goes live tomorrow, it's the beginning of what really is a rather massive migration for the Aavegotchi ecosystem, right? So we've got lots of assets, lots of smart contracts and different dApps currently deployed mostly on Polygon. A little bit of, we've got presence on Base as well, and even a little bit on the layer 1 on Ethereum. So as a community, as an organic grassroots group of holders, we will, over the coming days and weeks, be migrating together different parts of our Aavegotchi ecosystem over to Geist. And on a personal level, no future, I guess you've probably talked to your gotchis. They understand it's almost time to make a big trip. This might be their first such migration. And so you got a lot of stuff you're ready to move over, right? Anything from ERC20s to NFTs.
Yeah, all my gotchis are packing up their wearables. They got their suitcases ready and ready to hit the road.
Yeah, that's good. Well, today we're going to answer all your questions about the launch and help you make the most of it and be a part of it. So whether you're brand new or a OG Aavegotchi holder, there are opportunities for you to be part of this early migration and the launch of Geist. So if you have any questions about Geist or anything else during the stream, do feel free to drop them in the comments and we will field those live here on air. Speaking of which, we can see comments coming in. Shout out to Zbot. Zbot is one of the original summoners of Aavegotchi. Always great to see him coming through the chat. Big love for Zbot. We got love coming in from Ireland. Great. We need that Irish luck as well, as we want the launch to go very smooth. We have every confidence it will. As you guys know, if you're following along, this is it's an Aavegotchi endeavor, but it is a crypto-wide coordinated endeavor in the sense that we're working with so many of the best partners possible across the space. So this will be a big day. The launch of Geist is a big day for Aavegotchi, but it also is for the Alchemy team. And this is one of the first layer 3s that they are spinning up and supporting with us. It's basically WorldCoin and Geist. Those are the first two that Alchemy have directly built out infrastructure for. So that's pretty cool company. That's very, very short company. We're there with Alchemy. The Geist blockchain is a layer 3 settling to a layer 2, and that layer 2 is Base. So Base is securing Geist, and Ethereum is securing Base. It's a wonderful thing. It's just turtles all the way down, or in our case, Gotchis all the way up. And then, of course, Arbitrum. Our friends at Arbitrum and the Orbit chains, we are a part of that network. This is an Arbitrum stack chain, ultimately. So very, very excited for that. We'll be launching, over the coming days and weeks, you'll see the DEX go live with Camelot. Camelot's coming in, launching the DEX. And then the player profile, this meta-level gaming system with like all your on-chain achievements settling to Geist directly. All that stuff's coming. So a lot of new content, but we also have to migrate a lot of the existing assets and smart contracts, like the NFT marketplace, our bespoke P2P marketplace, the Bazaar over at Aavegotchi.com. That currently runs on Polygon. And very soon we'll have basically the Bazaar 2.0 running on Geist. And there will be some kind of really cool upgrades that happen during this migration. So right now, the Bazaar is very different than like an OpenSea or the infrastructure for a Magic Eden, in the sense that it's all on chain, it's P2P, but to get listed there is it's a pretty top-down approach, right? Basically, like Pixelcraft, we built the marketplace for the Aavegotchis, for our Gotchiverse, and have been building that out for the last 3+ years. But when it moves to Geist, it will get some adjustments to the parameters and the way it works for third parties to make listings. It's going to get a lot easier for third-party games, anybody that's developing on Geist, to be able to submit and list their own NFT collections on the Bazaar. So like that alone is a significant change from the previous version of the Bazaar. So super excited for that and all the things that come with that. We're going to see a much larger Bazaar, and who knows, there might be, I'm hearing rumors in the DAO about a Ghost staking 2.0 as well. So there may be a new staking system coming for the GHST token. And what that will be, besides it being the gas token for Geist, it also means we may see more utility for the token throughout the ecosystem. So very, very excited on that front too. That's kind of like a high level look at why I'm so excited about that. But before we go too far down that road and flesh some of those things out, there's a lot of other stuff also happening across the space. So we could do a bit of a headlines rundown. Shoot me the first one here, Nofu. What are some other things happening in the space right now?
Yeah, so friends, just want to remind you that we are in the second week of our Geist encounters. So you want to make sure to jump into the Discord and start doing that. There are 3 tasks plus 1 challenge for this week. As a reminder, these tasks can be done retroactively. You have until sometime in December. I forget the exact date. Actually, I have it right here. December 20th, 2024. That's when it ends at midnight UTC. So you can do it retroactively, but probably makes sense to do it now if you have the time. And this week, the task that you will be completing would be to connect to the faucet and get some testnet Ghost over on Polter on the testnet for Geist. You're also going to sign up to become a Geist member and to create your Geist ID. Very important. You'll get an email with that once you sign up. And then last, for the task, you will invite at least 2 new friends using your newly generated invite codes to Geist for membership. So those 3 tasks. And then the challenge this week is also to make an X post explaining why you are excited about the launch of Geist, and tag Aavegotchi and the Play on Geist account over on X.
Okay, so you're going into some of the details of the Geist encounters, but it's possible some people listening are like, no idea what Geist encounters is. And so we just back it up a little bit and just say, if you're listening to this, you want to be part of the Geist launch window and you don't own any Aavegotchi assets, it's okay. What No Future is talking about right now is for you. It's for everybody, including you. So you want to get in the Discord, go to the Geist channel, Geist encounters, kind of like close encounters. And start there. And like, I think the key point you point out there is, even if the first mission was last week, there's a new quest every week, and they're retroactive until the entire Close Encounters, Geist Encounter system is complete. So you can go join us and go back and complete Mission 1, Mission 2, all together, earn those points, and you're going to unlock some really cool stuff as Geist rolls out and goes live. So sorry to cut you off there, but I think that's like the high level. And then, yeah, what do you know about the most recent mission? And I think you were about to say when the next Geist encounter goes live.
Yeah, the next encounter will go live later this week. You have those 3 tasks plus that 1 challenge. And just remember, completing the challenges, the task, will grant you an entry into a raffle where you'll have a chance to win some awesome on-chain prizes. This system is somewhat similar to our agents missions that were run a couple years ago at the beginning of Aavegotchi. So definitely go and take part. It's free to take a part of, and you get your early access to Geist and get to kind of be part of the crew as we get ready for the launch of the mainnet.
Super cool. Yeah, this is a great opportunity, great way to get involved. And I do see a ton of activity in those channels in Discord, a lot of new faces pouring in. So it's an indicator of just like the enthusiasm and interest around this members only blockchain called Geist. Super, super cool. So be a part of the launch.
You'll get the Hawk Geist Discord role by participating in these encounters. So another little perk that you get there in the Aavegotchi Discord.
That's right. So we've got between now and basically the end of the year to do a number of these missions, and it's still early. We're in week 2, so go ahead and get in there with us, and you will be happy you did later for sure. Now, the other stuff going on that front is, well, not on that front, on Aavegotchi at large, is one of our major titles, Gotchi Guardians, the multiplayer kind of hybrid tower defense game that's turning a lot of heads. It has a little surprise in the making coming up. So part of the Alpha Hour today is to give you guys a heads up on what you can be looking forward to with Gotchi Guardians. Do you have any intel on that, Nofu?
Not much that I know of, but I do know it's Halloween related. So we also had some cool updates that hit Gotchi Guardians as well that we'll discuss briefly soon.
Yep. So stick around for some updates on Guardians. You can download and enjoy that game right now if you go to Aavegotchi.com and visit the Game Center. So yeah, some very cool stuff happening there. We'll get into that. There's also some other developments on the site, and this is a community-led initiative called the Fitting Room. And the Fitting Room is a really cool kind of retro pixel version of Aavegotchi interpretation where you can, it was built out by the Forge team, and I think it's live right now on the DApp. You can go check it out. Now, Nofu, have you had a chance to play with it yet?
Yeah, I've gotten to play with it a little bit. This Gotchi that you see here, this is the forever look of this Gotchi, but I did get to play around with some of my other Gotchis to be able to see kind of different builds and looks aesthetically, but also for rarity farming and for the upcoming Gotchi Battler tournaments that should be coming soon. So just being able to go and kind of check out how my Gotchi looks and different it fits is amazing.
Yeah, this is like where you want to go when you're developing strategy for which wearables and combinations of wearables you should be equipping on your Aavegotchi. So, you know, you can go in the bazaar, you can be overwhelmed with the variety of various Aavegotchi power-ups in the form of wearables. And now with the Fitting Room, you can this will help you significantly like ascertain what you should be wearing, especially for certain games. Like you called out Battler, the Idle Battler. It really matters how you dress up your Aavegotchi and which traits you prioritize. And so I think the Fitting Room is going to be a really powerful tool, an enjoyable tool at that, to just, you know, celebrate your Gotchi and all the wearables you own and maybe try on a few that you don't own yet and see what would make the most sense for you. So that's really cool. Shout out to the team for building the Fitting Room, shipping that. At Pixcraft, we also dropped a new video this week. So that's been pretty consistent for quite a few weeks now. We're getting a new Gotchi University video week after week. This new episode kind of coincides very nicely with the Fitting Room. It is a wearables themed university video. And so this is the video you need to watch if you're listening and going, what the heck are they talking about? Find the perfect combination of wearables for your Gotchi. This short info-packed video is exactly what you need. After just a couple minutes, you'll know everything you need to know and be an expert on Aavegotchis, and you'll be ready to go in that fitting room and make the most of it. On the gaming front, I heard one of the other community-funded, DAO-funded games is doing well and just released a new version as they continue to develop. Do you know which game I'm talking about?
It's a game that requires some gotchi strategy, right? What's the name? Stratagotchi, that's right.
Yes, Stratagotchi, now live with a new version, and it's always been a beautiful game. The lead designer visually has a very, very, very good sense of style. But this latest version, you can just see right here on screen. It's beautiful. It's gotchis interpreted in the voxel format. But besides the beauty, that's very apparent right away, if you hop in and play, you'll find it's actually a very tasty, layered strategy experience. And very relaxing is how I found it, quite surprisingly. Like, you know, my heart doesn't go racing, but I can just kick back and let this play out time and time again. So quite an addicting game. It's come a long way from the early builds, and I can't wait to see this launch with a full version on Geist in the near future. Actually,
we received wonderful feedback at ETH Denver for Stratagotchi. So seeing this new build and the evolution, I'm sure it's going to be a hit this year again when we do present at ETH Denver.
Oh yeah, and you know the difference between then and now. One big one is Geist will be live, and if the game is, whether it is already live on Geist by ETH Denver, which I think there's very likely it will be live with all the benefits of Geist. So there's this player profile you can go create by connecting a wallet or a social login. And then you have this player profile that will track your progress across all the Aavegotchi games on Geist. And so I'm sure Stratagotchi will be plugging into that meta, and they'll probably have their own achievements that you can earn that accrue points back to your player profile. And I would imagine they even have their own strategy, no pun intended, for NFT like game assets, and like what we were talking about earlier, where the bazaar is going to be much easier for games like Stratagotchi to deploy their own NFTs, their own game assets, and list them in the bazaar and have them trading on Geist. That's definitely going to be. I think Stratagotchi will be one of the first games to benefit from that. So, really looking forward to that, and that's a good example of what you can expect. I'm ready to FOMO into some gorgeous Stratagotchi themed game assets. Oh yes, I thought we saw a comment from the game creator here in the chat, but maybe not. Maybe people just dropping his name. But just some of the comments here. Stellar Hobbs coming in saying Laggin visuals. Laggin is the developer of Stratagotchi. Plus Phase soundtrack equals Mamma Mia. Yeah, Phase, a super talented musician, producer, audio engineer in the community. He's leading music for that game, and yeah, you got to hit play and turn the sound on to really appreciate the vibes of that game. And yeah, they are working on a voxel SDK, or they're getting Stratagotchi ready to be integrated into the existing Aavegotchi Unity SDK. So if you're a builder out there and you're looking at all this going, I could do a weekend game jam, or I could spin up something to deploy on Geist, understand that's very, very welcome, and that's something that we want to see more people doing. So you can always hop in the Discord, reach out, build a team, and or just come in with a DApp and deploy it. So it is a permission chain, so you got to reach out, and we'll make sure we get you whitelisted. But that is happening, and we are whitelisting different developers' smart wallet addresses for access to deploy on Geist day by day. So you can be a part of that as well if you're a builder. So very cool. Maybe we could, what do you think, Nofu, return to one of our main topics today, which is the Great Geist Migration. And this idea that it's not like flipping a light switch. We're going to be moving a mega ecosystem, the Aavegotchi ecosystem, from a multitude of different chains and consolidating onto Geist. So, when you think about that and the fact that Geist goes live tomorrow, we are less than 24 hours from the mainnet of Geist going live. What comes to mind, No Future? Like, what kind of concerns, questions, or things jump to the front of your mind with the launch of a brand new chain?
Yeah, for me, I think just the general migration, getting our assets over there, and then being able to set up and be ready for the next, like, Gotchi Battler coming up, like how that will kind of work out. Will the Gotchis that are migrated over to Geist, will they be able to participate, or will Gotchi Battler be built on Geist and ready for that when they eventually go live? And then just like the general mechanics, like I'm assuming we're going to have the migration bridge on the Aavegotchi DApp itself. So just like going through the process of moving our assets. Gotchis, at one point did migrate from Ethereum via a bridge to Polygon. So we're jumping on the road again and we're going across. So just any details you can give us on that process for people who aren't aware or, super tech savvy on how this will work.
Yeah, I think the first thing I'll talk about here is when you join Geist, it is a members-only blockchain, so there's exclusive rewards, and it's not just like you can just throw crypto at a subscription and get in. You have to get an invite first. So when it comes to membership, the first thing to know is if you were holding an Aavegotchi and you pet it, and we're being very generous with the petting window here, but if you've taken care of your Aavegotchi anywhere in the last many months and have done so up till today, just a few hours ago, we took a snapshot and all the Aavegotchi owners will get free membership. So Aavegotchi NFT holders will have the free membership for a certain amount of time, and you can go grab your membership. So that's a very big deal for the Aavegotchi owners. Now, if you don't own an Aavegotchi, you need to be talking to people that do. You need to be making friends. And then in terms of the migration, it's going to happen, over the next 4 to 6 weeks for a full migration. It's something that takes time to move DApp by DApp, smart contract by smart contract, and different bridges for different types of assets. So you asked about what we might be migrating first. I would say one that for sure we'll be able to migrate is Ghost token, GHST, our native governance token, and now Geist gas token. So migrating Ghost over will happen from base to Geist. That part is already ready to go, and we'll all be able to start doing that. I'm not super sure if we're gonna what the team's doing with Polygon to Geist directly, but I did see a working version of a base to Geist bridge that's ready to go. So that's going to be the first focus is the ERC20s and moving liquidity for Ghost, plus our 4 Alchemica tokens, the Gotchiverse game tokens, and the GLTR glitter token. All those kind of tokens will be able to move over. So we'll start with that. And then we'll move on. We'll be on the lookout maybe a week from now. We'll have more details about the migration of the NFTs. So we're talking about your Aavegotchis, your wearables. These are a mix of 721s and 1155s. All of those will start being able to move. And we'll have more exact details on that part of the migration in the days ahead. And then the next big shoe to drop would be the launch of the full Aavegotchi DApp. So literally Aavegotchi.com as a DApp. You'll connect your wallet and boom, it'll be Geist supported and supporting trading on both Polygon and Geist. So if you're on Polygon with your assets, that trading isn't going away. The support remains, but obviously I suspect the most exciting UX and features will all be happening on Geist. So we got to basically redeploy the entire bazaar with those slight modifications that make it easier for third parties to list assets. So in the short term, some experiences like opening the portals or minting fake gotchis, those aspects will remain on Polygon. No announcements yet on how we want to move the art platform Aavegotchis over. But I would suspect eventually everything will be moving to Geist, the homeland for Aavegotchis. I hope that answered a few questions, Nofu. And let's check the comments here, see. So, any benefits to holding Ghost on base? T-Bird asking. Well, it depends how you think about it. Like, there's, in a financial sense, maybe not like a staking yield type of reward. No, that's probably not the case. Those will be more likely on Geist. But obviously, the utility that we enjoyed over the summer playing the Spirit Force Arena Battle Royale, all of that support remains currently on base. So if you want to do staked Ghost in Battle Royale matches, that continues to have base support for the time being. There will be a Spirit Force Arena Geist release in the coming weeks to months ahead, and that will probably change. That will definitely change it where everything will run through Geist. But for now, if you're enjoying Spirit Force or Battler, you're going to want to keep some Ghost handy on base. I think it's a good example of how there's just so many different things happening with Aavegotchi across a number of chains that that utility, we can't just rip it away. That utility remains on those other chains, and yet at the same time we can offer something that starts to consolidate a lot of our experiences onto a premium UX with our own dedicated block space. All right, any other questions coming through here? And Goobs, I saw something on the screen there just now. Maybe you can pull that back up. Yeah, check this out. Do you know what you're looking at here, No Future?
Ooh, is that it looks like the badge. I can't tell if that was the badge that we got, the special edition mint that was for on base and Arbitrum. Am I mistaken on that, or?
No, but that's a good reminder. Those will not be available after Geist goes live. So if you have not minted your Arbitrum and your base kind of commemorative Geist mints, those have been live as open editions on both Arbitrum and base since the announcement of Geist, and that open edition will very, very soon close. So if you've not minted those, you may want to. When it comes time to drop extra invites and expand to allow more people onto this exclusive chain, if you're on that kind of on the